In this episode of the Funny Business Podcast, it's not the battle of the memes, but the battle of the owners and a UFC fight.
And on the flip side, we talk about why people also are afraid of the rain, and we discuss the fears and thrills of trying a new restaurant. Mike, hit the music. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. My name is Matt. I'm on with my co-host Mike. We hope you're all having a great day. Having a relaxing evening, good morning, good day at work, wherever you are. Today's going to be a very chill, low-key episode. We're not going to yell at each other. And that's a bunch of bullshit. But we're going to try to have a great time. Mike, it is the first episode. I'm just a little under the weather today. We'll get into it later. Mike, how are you? How are things? You are in the new apartment.
Yes. You, Matt. You said we weren't going to curse at each other, so here we are. Yeah, it's the first time being in the apartment. It's the first time recording an episode. It was also the first time in a long time that we are recording in a thunderstorm. Mm-hmm. So
yep, I did. Don't know I already lost power for 5 seconds earlier today. Let's fingers crossed, folks.
Yeah, but I think today is our first stress test to see if moving was worth it. If not, I'm moving back to my old apartment and getting my old internet, and we're continuing the podcast the way that it is.
Actually, what's going to happen is you're going to keep this apartment, but one night a week, you're going to move back to your old apartment just for us to podcast and stream.
Yeah, no, I think, could you imagine, and Matt has been at my apartment before, but could you imagine like having that apartment, but just having it strictly for podcasting and gaming?
We would literally have a podcast studio.
Yeah, we don't have a podcast studio. The thing that we've been talking about all this time, but we haven't rented a damn, space in order for that to happen. But we don't need to because
correct.
Virtual has been the way to go since the pandemic. But that's my first pandemic for the new apartment. Thank you very much.
Screw you.
But yeah, I mean, still flying solo a little bit before the girlfriend moves in. Matt, thank you for your tips last week. I really appreciate it. Taking a lot of them in consideration. Yep. And I'll report back once Jenna finally moves in. But I feel a little out of practice. I feel like I don't know what to do with the podcast exactly, but I think, I really don't know what to do with my hands.
I never know what to do with my hands. That's just in general in life. Like when I'm talking to someone, my hands just kind of move around like I'm Italian, but I'm not Italian.
I'm a weird Italian. No, it's always fun when I'm recording a video with somebody for like job or like a side hustle or anything like that. And they first start off very statue-like. They don't move at all. I said, do you use your hands at all? They're like, some of them are like, yeah. I'm like, please use your hands. I'm like, please, be active in the conversation. And then there's times too where people are like, oh no, you don't want to see me move my hands at all. And I was like, I think you're fine. Like, don't worry about it. You're fine. And they end up being fine anyway. So
yeah, they come out like a statue, and then all of a sudden, I'm Billy Mays here with Flex Seal.
Do you know how much I appreciated Billy Mays back in the day when I was a kid?
He was the best, man.
He was.
He was awesome. R.I.P.
OxyClean.
Yes. I don't know the Flex Seal guy. Though not there was a lot of Flex Seal jokes going around the internet the past week or so. And we're gonna leave it at that.
Yes.
We're leaving it at that.
We're not laughing at him.
No.
We promise.
No. Correct.
Okay. You know what we are going to laugh at today, Matt?
Idiots.
Idiots. So, if you haven't heard, it seems like everybody from the internet, if they have beef with somebody, they just want to start a fight. Like they want to get into fisticuffs. They want to start fighting and throwing punches.
Yep.
Well, Matt, I think we might have the match of the century. And what I mean by that is just the one we weren't expecting, to be completely honest.
No, and I mean, a little teaser, Mike. When people have these fights online, where do they happen?
Where do they happen?
Yeah, where do they happen?
In an octagon?
No, online fights.
Oh, online
fights. Where do
fights.
people go to have fights online?
Pay-per-view.
Okay, you're overthinking this way too much.
I am.
Okay, continue on. Why don't you tell the basis of the story, and then I'll finish my joke.
I know.
Okay.
YouTube. No.
Okay.
I think once I start saying the story, I feel like I know the answer, but I haven't talked about it yet. So we've talked a lot about Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked a lot about his acquisition of Twitter. We've talked about, I don't think we've talked about his new change in role. There's a new CEO in town.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
Does Jack have his job back?
No, Jack does not have his job back.
Oh,
Rhyme intended. But I think it's somebody who was formerly NBC, but like is now like the head CEO. But like Elon's still like some type of trustee or council or as a member of the council.
Mm-hmm.
But Elon likes to pick a lot of fights on his platform. He likes to reply to tweets. He likes to get attention. He likes to start just these little fires. Well, it seems like on the opposite side of privacy and an app control and a platform, Mark Zuckerberg has finally crawled out of the spaceship or crawled out of the lizard kingdom and is finally wanting to go mano a mano with Elon Musk and a UFC fight.
Can I ask what prompted this?
Sure. So where do you think this happened, Matt? Let me ask you that. Where do you think this happened?
Was there like a convention or something they were at?
Could you imagine they both go like face to face, like they're doing like a stare off, like, they do the official weigh in and they have like the official photo?
If that would happen, I imagine when my Nana, I don't know if I ever told the story on the podcast, when she was like 85, she was at like her nursing home and got in like a verbal argument with another one of the like residents, and they were just like face to face, like, you're a dumbass. No, you're a dumbass. No, you're a dumbass. That's what I would imagine a fight between Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk to be, each calling each other dumbasses.
Oh my gosh. Well, Matt, if you haven't heard already, because of Twitter's stability, I guess I'll put it that way, Twitter's stability, not compared to the stability of the TikTok, Meta was potentially trying to create a new competitor to Twitter. I don't know if you were aware of this or not.
I did not know. I saw the headlines and I was like, okay, but I didn't really know why they wanted to butt heads.
Right. So very similar to Instagram with this new platform. I forget the name of the platform, but within the competitor to Meta, it's very Instagram-like, but it's text. So basically, it's very much so a Twitter competitor platform.
Mm-hmm.
But Musk commented on Meta creating a competitor to Twitter. And then that's when the exchange started for Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Musk suggested a cage match.
Mm-hmm.
And Zuckerberg responded with, send me the location.
Mm-hmm. What platform were they responding on again?
Twitter.
So Mark Zuckerberg was tweeting.
Basically.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I believe Elon Musk has won round one.
Apparently.
In this fight. That was my big concern. I wanted to know, like, it would be very funny if Elon hopped on like Facebook and was like using his Facebook to like duck at Zuckerberg. But the fact that Zuckerberg came on Twitter, now that I'm actually having a second thought in my head. One, props to Elon because brought the fight to his platform.
Yeah.
But two, it's also very badass kind of a Zuckerberg to be like, hey, I'm going to come on your platform and call you out. That's kind of cool. That's genius, actually.
Now, Dana White has actually commented on this fight.
Yes. No, he's big time wants it to happen, right?
So basically, big time wants it to happen. They're serious about the fight. White says he spoke to both Mark and Elon, and they expressed their willingness to participate. He says, if the fight were to happen, White believes it would be the, quote, biggest fight in history, breaking all pay-per-view records and raising hundreds of millions of dollars for charity.
So that was my big thing. If the money was like, if it was just going into their pockets, please don't buy this pay-per-view. Like we do not, the rich do not need to get richer. But if they're doing all the money for charity, that's great. I'm fine with that. So I have a lot of questions, and I've heard a lot of conversations from other people that I'm going to bring some ideas in here. Before we do that,
yes,
who are you rooting for?
Zuckerberg.
I think I might be rooting for Elon.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm not a huge Elon fan with what he's done on Twitter. Zuckerberg is just a robot.
Yeah. But I think, I don't know. Here's what the two of them remind me of. So like, yes, I will admit Zuckerberg is a little bit of robotic. But at the same time, in my opinion, along with that roboticness, is that's even a word?
It is.
Very clean, takes care of his health, does this and that. Elon just reminds me of that dude at like somebody's like basement of like coming out of like his couch and being like, hey, what's up? You want some chips? They're down on the couch. That's what he reminds me of for some reason.
My dad drives a Tesla. It's like
he probably, I wonder in car comparison, which probably if we're speaking of rounds here, probably round 2 would go to Elon, because I'm sure Zuckerberg is driving a Tesla as well.
That was going to be my next question. Obviously, Elon's going to show up in a Tesla. It would be very funny if Zuckerberg just pulled up in like a Volkswagen. or like an old Saturn. I don't even think they make Saturns anymore. That'd be funny.
Now, I will say that there are starting to be better competitors out there for electric cars. So, in my opinion, I think he would drive a Rivian. Have you ever seen those before, a Rivian?
I've never heard of one. No.
Yeah, a Rivian's a truck. We haven't had the Cybertruck yet. So, the Rivian is, think of it like a Hummer, but like a little bit more condensed.
That'd be cool.
So, you have to look at...
What if he came in a Prius? So you're rooting for Zuckerberg. I'm rooting for Elon. Who do you think would win? Because there's a very obvious answer here.
Let me break this down for you, because two are very involved in fighting.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
So Zuckerberg practices Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and Musk has experience in martial arts and BJJ. I don't know what BJJ stands for, but let me look that up right now. Make sure it's an extra J at the end.
Joke. I'm not going to make that joke.
Oh, it's just Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Oh, so they both do Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
Why did you? Okay. Why in the article, Fox? Why did you write in the article BJJ, but then write out Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
All right, so then it's not obvious, because I didn't know Elon also had fighting experience. I thought Zuckerberg just did jiu-jitsu. However, I believe there was just a recent video of Zuckerberg getting like tapped out, like someone choked him out.
Really?
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about this exact thing, and they mentioned how he got like choked out bad.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
No. However, he is a robot, and they're going to kill us all, so there's that too. God.
I think within the bouts itself, I think it would be very, like, in my opinion, it would not end up in like a first round victory, like technical knockout or just a knockout. No. Like it wouldn't, like it would go round for round. I don't know how many rounds are there in UFC?
If it's an official UFC, so
10 rounds?
It depends. No, that's boxing. Boxing's like 12. UFC, if it's a regular fight, it's 3 rounds, 3 minutes. If it's a championship fight, it's 5 rounds. So I'm assuming this would be a 5-round fight.
Yeah. I think it would go to 5.
This would be one of the most staged pay-per-views of all time.
Do you think that's all for?
In the sense of, like, I'm not saying like they're going to it saying Elon's going to win or Zuckerberg's going to win. It's going 5 rounds.
Yeah.
All of these pay-per-views, whether it's former like Le'Veon Bell, former NFL running back, or the he who shall not be named and brothers that shall not be named on this podcast. All of their fights, it's never just a knockout. When Floyd Mayweather fought whoever he fights, it's not just a knockout. Like it's gonna go the full distance. They're gonna put on a show. There's gonna be a lot of people watching, a lot of money, hopefully for charity. Like it's gonna be staged in the sense of like you throw this punch, you throw that punch. Maybe in the last round, all hell will break loose. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it would be an interesting fight to see. That's for sure. I don't know. I don't think I could bring myself down to buy the pay-per-view.
And then John Cena would come in round 5 and then go ahead and stage an attack against Elon Musk. And then Elon Musk would send in Roman Reigns, and then he would come in and start beating up Zuckerberg. And then they would join forces. And then all of a sudden, both Facebook and Twitter would come together into forming one platform for one unit, for one world. I could totally see this happening.
So that brings up 2 points that I've heard other people say. If so, like big UFC fights, they bring in like A-list celebrities, like
right,
everyone's there. Would this fight bring in A-list celebrities? Like, is Matthew McConaughey going to be sitting front row? Is Tom Cruise going to be sitting front row? Is Beyonce and Jay-Z going to pull up? Like, who's really going to go to this fight?
I mean, I will say that Musk and Zuckerberg bring in a completely new audience, especially in this format. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw like Tim Cook in the front row, or like
Bill Gates
in the front row.
Bill Gates just holds up like a wad of like $20,000. He's like, winner gets this.
You probably will see a lot of stands. Like you'll probably see a lot of Elon stands, a lot of Zuckerberg stands. Probably everybody from Meta would be required to wear like a VR headset while watching it, so that way they could get the 360 experience. Like that could be that. I mean, that's tough because both certainly have their weight in celebrity status, and I say that in air quotes, meaning like just basically their notoriety within the world. Like obviously Mark has created probably the most notable platform of all. Elon probably created the most notable electric vehicle of all. He just has Twitter.
Correct. Yes. He has enough money to buy Twitter.
Right. So yeah. I think with those comparisons, I think that's what gives it that notoriety. But I don't know. I think they would pay people to be up in the front, like McConaughey, or
that too.
Maybe LeBron James might be on the front row. Who the hell knows?
Because at the end of the day, yes, it is a UFC fight or a fight, whether it's whatever. Maybe they just do a jiu-jitsu match. I don't really know how that works. And like, yeah, there's a lot of money online. But at the end of the day, this is just two nerds fighting.
Right.
Like, is it? Yes, they do jiu-jitsu, but like a lot of people do jiu-jitsu. And I wouldn't necessarily pay a pay-per-view to watch two random nerds who do jiu-jitsu fight. Like, would it be good? We don't know.
No. I mean, I think we have to risk that for any celebrity bouts within this format, which kind of brings me to, I don't want to say my next discussion, but more so kind of a segue into what I wanted to ask and what I wanted to brainstorm today. If we had to pick people to fight in a UFC match that has been having either beef, and like they could be athletic, they could be non-athletic. Who do you think would go toe to toe?
So any people I want to see in the UFC fight.
Anything that's causing beef, anything that's causing an argument, like anything. I think all political debates need to be settled with a UFC fight. Yes,
actually, the next presidential election will be settled by a UFC fight. Get ready for next year. Yeah, that'd be crazy. That's tough. Honestly, I don't know if I want to say that. Yeah, sure. Vladimir Putin and the president of Ukraine should just get in a ring.
Yeah,
Just box it out.
that sounds good.
I mean, Putin would probably kick the shit out of him because Putin's very athletic, from what we hear.
He's getting old though, from what I've been told.
He do be getting old. Yeah,
Do be getting old.
Yeah, he do be getting old. Wow, that's tough. Do you have any off the top of your head? I'm going to try and think.
Stephen A. Smith
Hmm.
versus. You got to help me out on this one.
Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless. Yes,
That would be incredible.
Great.
Yeah, that would be electric. That would be a good one. I feel like this one's kind of obvious, but Taylor Swift versus Kim Kardashian.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like each other.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, no, they're not. Or, well, Taylor had some beef with Kanye,
Yes.
but that wouldn't be a fair fight. Selena Gomez versus one of the Jenner sisters. They're kind of beefing right now.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be an interesting one.
Did you watch, speaking of Taylor Swift, did you watch Miss Americana on
No.
Netflix? Oh, we did.
What was it?
It was beautiful.
I figured. I could have told you that I didn't even watch it.
Which we were kind of cracking up because I know it's totally off topic, but we were kind of cracking up. And, you know, everybody knows, very well aware that like Taylor Swift grew up in Nashville, but technically she was born in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. She was. Yep.
And
Reading, I believe.
Yes, Reading.
Yep.
And in particular, everybody that is surrounding those newspapers that says, oh, Reading native Taylor Swift. But even in this documentary, she does not call Pennsylvania her home state. She calls Tennessee her home state.
That's funny. That's very, very funny. I would like to see Rano Test versus the guy who threw the beer that started the malice at the palace.
Yes.
Bring that back together. That'd be electric.
God.
Could you imagine? Well, Metal World Peace. Sorry. That'd be electric.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Oh my God.
Steve Bartman versus whoever the left field of the Chicago Cubs guy when he reached over. That'd be funny. I'm trying to think of some non-sport ones.
Oh, well, non-sport, but the Oakland A's manager. Or no, owner.
Owner versus the fans.
Yeah, versus the fans.
Yeah, that'd be electric. There's probably a lot of good options. It would be very funny to see like political debates settle in the ring. Yeah.
Or a thumb wrestling match.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yep.
Or like a gauntlet, like kind of like a Ninja Warrior style, like having the presidential candidates run through a Ninja Warrior gauntlet.
I'd like to see Bibi Rexha versus the guy who threw his phone at her on stage.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw that.
Yeah. Did you see why he did it?
No.
He thought it would just be funny. That was literally why he threw the phone. For those that don't know, Bibi Rexha was on stage at a concert. Some guy thought it would just be funny to throw his phone at her and like busted up her eye. I'd love to see her kick the shit out of him.
Got one.
Yeah.
Tim the Tat Man versus Courage JD.
That'd be a good one. Yeah. That'd be electric. The weigh-in for that would get a little ridiculous.
Man, I'm trying to think of other things. I said it. And I'm like, man, I really don't have anything, but we came up with a lot of good ones.
Yeah. UFC is also just awesome. I haven't watched it in a long, long time. I know I talked about it before. I was kind of getting into it. I haven't watched it in a while, but it'd be a lot of fun.
How's Fight Island coming?
I think they still use it once in a while.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. It's a great investment on Dana White's part. I have a scenario for Zuckerberg and Elon, and this is not my scenario. I've heard someone suggest this on the internet. This would just be hysterical. Winner gets the other person's platform.
I knew that was coming.
If Elon wins, he gets Meta or Facebook, and if Zuckerberg wins, he gets Twitter.
Oh my god,
that'd be hysterical.
It's like collecting the infinity stones of the social media platforms.
Yeah, that would be electric.
If you really think about it, they are almost the colors. Like there's blue. Oh, both of them are blue. Damn it. But like getting the YouTube stone, the Meta stone, the Twitter stone,
Twitch stone.
Amazon stone. Well,
Amazon.
Okay. Snapchat stone.
Snapchat. Yep.
LinkedIn.
Yes. Yeah. Except the LinkedIn stone's not a stone. It's just a tie. A bow tie.
One to go. Oh, man. The shit that we think of. But anyway.
This is electric. Oh, would you actually buy this?
I would buy it to watch it with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just make a pact. Like,
that'd be good. What do you think ticket prices for this is going to go for?
Oh.
Well, also, where do you think they have it? I don't think they sell out in like Vegas.
No.
I think you got to go like they do like UFC fights in like Jacksonville or like I don't know. I don't think Vegas is the right place for this.
SoFi Stadium.
That's huge.
Yeah.
They're not going to sell that out.
Matt.
It's like $100,000 stadium.
Elon Musk alone has 145.1 million followers on Twitter.
They're not going to sell out. If they sell out SoFi Stadium for this, then it's just sad. It's not even fun anymore. That's just sad.
Well, certainly for one thing, there will certainly not be any person outside of the stadium singing along to any of the songs that they're playing there. So
yeah, what do you think the walk-up songs are going to be?
Oh, this gets good.
And also, who's their entourage? Who walks them out?
Oh, well, I feel like Elon. What is Elon? What does he bring out? The Tesla robots. You ever see those things?
Yes.
Yeah. So Elon's entourage is just those Tesla robots.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
They walk out.
That would be very funny.
And then
what's this
Zuckerberg is Meta employees, but all of them are wearing the VR headset as they walk out.
Yeah. Would be funny if they each had like professional like trainer or like boxer or like UFC fighter. Like if Conor McGregor walks out with Elon and who would Zuckerberg walk out with? Like Daniel Cormier or like I don't even know. That'd be very funny.
Yeah.
Walk out with each. They do need Bruce Buffer, I think is his name. He's the UFC guy. He's like the main announcer. He goes, it's time. They need him.
Yeah.
You also need Herb Dean as the referee. Greatest UFC referee in the game. Herb Dean's a legend.
You know what they should have? Oh, God.
A robot?
I don't want to say it yet. John Anderson.
John Anderson. I don't.
Wait.
I'm not familiar. The ESPN anchor? John Anderson?
No. Oh, man. Al Capone. Al Kaplan.
Al Kaplan. Al Kaplan heating and air conditioning.
What?
That's what pops up. I don't know.
No, Al Kaplan, if you remember, Al Kaplan was the referee for Dodgeball, True Underdog Story. But you also saw Al Kaplan in Gladiator being the official referee.
Yeah. That would also be a good one. Why did my phone stop charging? This would be funny. I hope is this actually happening?
We will have to follow up. I have heard nothing yet. However, hoping that will be a update for everyone.
If it doesn't happen, they both have an open invitation on the Funny Business Podcast to fight it out on here.
Yes. Like a Take It segment.
Yes. We'll do Take It. Take It featuring Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg.
Have you ever seen Mark Zuckerberg do like a virtual interview?
No.
Oh my God. He literally gets like, I remember seeing like the reviews of his virtual setup. He uses like a $40,000 camera for like his webcam. Like it's an actual like cinematography camera. It's like
It's ridiculous.
that's the dream.
That's ridiculous, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. But this definitely, I could see like Elon just like being hammered and like firing off those tweets at Zuckerberg.
He's mean tweeting.
It's just mean tweeting. Speaking of being hammered, I was not hammered this weekend. I had a few drinks.
Couple poetry.
And I had some genius ideas. So let's dive into some Matt's drunk thoughts. I have a lot. I actually have a lot for both segments that we're getting
Do you?
to. Yeah. This first one really makes you think.
Okay.
Mike, how do calculators work? Like you just press a button times, like you press 8 times 6 and it just knows it's 48.
6 times 8?
8 times 6.
Yeah, 6 times 8 is 48.
Yeah,
8 times
48.
6 is 48.
Yes. But
It's
how does it
either
know
way.
that?
Well, computer science.
But like that makes no sense.
So somebody has to discover it first.
Yeah, but like what possibly could you program that it knows every single math equation known to man?
What about Chat GPT?
Yeah, but how do you put that in a calculator?
I am no calculator, but
Like that just blows my mind. Like how calculators have been around for a long time, way before Chat GPT.
somebody has to calculate it beforehand and then has to create a computer model that is able to be put in the calculator.
It's wild.
You're
doesn't
like,
make
I'm
sense.
not, I'm denying that.
Deny it. All right, next one. That was one of 4. These are all just very random. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't really know what was going through my head.
God.
So high school.
High school never ends.
So everybody says that like high school doesn't really prepare you for the real world. Like everyone says, like, oh, I don't know like how to do my taxes, or I don't know how to apply for a job, all that stuff, right? So like
Right.
people, there's things that could change about high school that could help you even for college and stuff like that. But it never changes. So when is it going to change?
I will say, I
You say.
forget. There is a state that has state puts law for high schools to learn about life skills. I guess that's the proper terminology. Yeah, 3 states now require, so this is back in April of 2022, 3 states now require students to learn about personal finance.
Okay, I like that.
So that is Florida, Nebraska, Ohio, and Rhode Island.
Nice.
So they, yeah, some are requiring it, some just signed it into law, and obviously Pennsylvania does not require personal finance to be a high school class to take.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that crossed my mind. Like everybody always says, like, oh, like high school's so stupid, but like everyone's been saying this for years, and it's just like, is it ever going to change?
Teaching is so broken.
Yeah.
Like they talk about it with higher education, they talk about it with secondary education, elementary education, all of it. Like it is so archaic that any change requires mountains to be moved.
Which is just dumb.
It is.
I don't know.
But hey, we're smart, right? We got a podcast.
We
got
are.
2 degrees.
Yep. It's podcasting 101. We should start a college course and teach that somewhere.
God, could you imagine? It'd be funny, but like, sorry, I just like thought of that for a hot second. I'm sure our audience did for a hot minute. Could you just imagine, like, week 1, we go over the syllabus and be like, all right, guys, now you may notice that the syllabus is 1 page long. Here's for podcasting. Yes, you have to prepare, but too much over preparing doesn't leave it up for the imagination. Just throw it away.
Yes. It's the most nonsense class of all time. Why are people afraid of the rain?
Did you just think about this today?
No.
Oh,
I had this thought over the weekend. So I went to a minor league baseball game as a fan.
yes.
This past weekend, and we will get into that
Okay.
later. It started to drizzle, like just drizzle,
Where's Snoop?
and like 8 people just started pulling out umbrellas. Which one, if you bring an umbrella to a baseball game, that they should not be allowed. They take up way too much space. People can't see. Umbrellas, baseball games should not be a thing. It's just water. You will get dry. Yes, it might stink, but like, you take a shower every day. You take a bath every day. You brush your teeth. You get wet every day.
I think it's warranted. Like, you are submitting yourself to know that you are getting wet. God, why did I say it that way? Oh, God.
But like, if you get wet, you'll get dry. Like, yes, it stinks, but like, people freak out when it starts to rain. They're like, "Oh my God, we have to go inside right now." You'll get dry. You will be okay.
I think it's just the feeling of being wet, like having clothes on and getting wet. Like, there was times, like I've said this multiple times, I think, on this podcast, when I used to play soccer. It was much better off playing and then it's starting to rain than it starting to rain before you played. And then you have to go out and start playing. And then it's like you're already wet before you even start playing. But yeah.
I also think just be prepared. Like, if you're going outside, bring a towel with you. If you know you're going to be outside, it's going to rain, bring a towel. You'll get dry. My last one. So this wasn't really a drunk thought. It was a thought I kind of had. So I started watching a new documentary on Netflix.
What is it?
It's called Full Swing.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with that. I haven't watched it, but I'm familiar with it.
It is. I know you're not a huge like PGA Tour guy. It is so good. I only watched correct, PGA Tour, the game. Yes, it's very, very good. It's a little old. It's based off of like last year's events, like 2022 events. However, it's relevant. It's also just very well done. It's not too much involved into like the X and the O's of golf. It's more so like a reality show about the players and their lives and their emotions and how they deal with things. Very, very good. So my next thought, so that I remember like, when it first came out, people were like, "Oh my God, this is great." And like, people like seeing like the behind the scenes of like athletes and things like that. What's the next great documentary of like, quote unquote, like a reality show? Like, what would be a cool like profession to follow and like have a documentary about, and people get to see like the behind the scenes of this?
So do you mean like the next Last Dance?
No, like the next Full Swing, the next like Deadliest Catch. Like, it's a reality show about a profession. And like, in a way, this Full Swing, yes, it's a documentary, but it's also kind of like a reality show. Like, they're following these guys behind the scenes in their homes. Like, it's more than just them on the golf course. I've never watched F1. There's an F1 documentary about the F1 drivers. The people say that's really good. They're coming out with some football ones now. They're following, I believe, this upcoming season or this past season, they followed Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and another NFL quarterback. So, like, athletes aside, like, yes, it'd be cool to watch like every athlete sport. What would be one like profession that like maybe we haven't seen yet? That'd be like, that'd really cool to like see the behind the scenes stuff.
I think it's, I mean, I'll speak for it from the production side of things. Like, it is very overwhelming to capture like a very long length time period. I think what frustrates me is, so what I was impressed with was, so obviously James Corden is no longer, Late Late Show is no longer a thing. I think what impressed me is after his last show on his YouTube page, they came out with a 5-episodic series of a behind the scenes. So like episode 1 was basically like when he first pitched it to CBS about this show. And then episode 2 was like big things. Episode 3 was carpool karaoke. Episode 4 was like announcing the final show and kind of like wrapping it up. And then episode 5 was the actual like behind the scenes of the final show. Like Prince Harry was in the back and like all this stuff and like all these things you don't see. But I think for me, what I am always frustrated about is when and I see this a lot with Marvel. Like if you go on Disney Plus, like they'll see like the making of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Like I love the storyline. I love the interviews, but I would really like to see more from the start to finish. Like, and I know that is a huge timeline to work with because you are talking years about when it comes to fruition. You are talking about when it's actually chosen with the directors and everybody else, talking about the actual production. You're talking about the editing. You're talking about the costume design, everything. But like something like Avatar, The Way of the Water, like Jen and I were about to watch it. I'm like, I don't think we should watch this tonight. It was like 10 o'clock and it's a 3-hour movie. We're like, no way. But I think seeing that progression of movie from start to finish, like Ted Lasso, like where did that all begin? Where is that going? Where is that going to? All that stuff. So I think having a little bit more of an extensive attention to detail on movies that are made for entertainment.
That'd be a cool one. Off the top of my head, you do like a farming one, like farmers.
Okay.
People say how important farmers are, how tough a job it is. And like, I feel like the farming industry is kind of like dying off a little bit, which is not good. I feel like that'd be kind of cool just to see like the life of a farmer and like the stress that they go through. That'd be interesting. I don't know if people would really get into this, but like the work of like a PennDOT worker or like a PennDOT in general.
Maybe they'll actually work more.
Well, but like people always give them a bad rap. Maybe they go through more than we know, and we don't know. Maybe we would all learn a little something more about construction workers or anything like that. That one would intrigue me a little bit.
I will say, Shot in the Dark. Obviously, it looks like it's not having the best reviews, but it's about independent contractors of video journalists in Los Angeles capturing footage for news crews. Like, and seeing that in the background, like that was cool. I did not know that there was shooters in Los Angeles, like in that area. I'm sure there's everybody everywhere else, but like their purpose is to like stay up late at night, get the footage, and then get the stuff over to the news crews the next day, and then they make thousands of dollars for it. Like it's ridiculous, but it was a little bit more dramatic than it was documentarian way. Like they had like, oh, we're gonna talk about a deal between one company over the other, and it's like, no, like just go shoot. Like they made it so dramatic. It was fun, but anyhow,
yeah. Full Swing's very good. I think you would enjoy it though.
I'm gonna have to look into it. I've seen it once or twice if we crossed over trying to find it. We just finished Night Action, which was a really good movie. Didn't realize it was just recently made. So it was a really cool action movie that both Jenna and I liked. So another one in the books for us. But
there we go.
Full Swing might be the next one.
It could be. That was Matt's Drunk Thoughts. Let's finish the show with some Down in the Dumps. And Mike, I will let you go first.
Okay.
I know you probably don't have a bunch.
I have 2, actually.
Okay.
So I'll do the first one. Not having the time anymore to listen to all of my podcasts.
Yeah, I can back that up. I've barely listened to podcasts in the past like month.
So obviously moving to this new location, it has cut down my drive time. Let's just say that I was able to listen to an hour-long episode once a day. Like I had that time. Now I barely have enough time to finish up one episode a day. And, I've talked to everybody. They're like, why don't you just break it up? Like you drive to work, you listen to part of it, and then when you go home, you listen to the rest of it. And it's like, I think for podcasting, like it is, and I know Matt and I have embarked on the journey of doing a podcast, which very much so is becoming the next generation of radio. But at the same time is still very hard to consume because, yes, everybody who loves us, like, we appreciate you, but there's other podcasts out there that are 2 hours long. And, like, I don't know. Like, I love you, Matt, but, like, I don't think we're going to be able to do a 2 hour podcast.
I mean, on the flip side, there's others that are like 20 minutes that people can listen to.
Right.
Whatever.
Right. So I think for me, like, trying to get into that rhythm of like list, because I still love my podcast. Like I there's some that I've like picked up on just because I only had podcasts to listen to on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So like Tuesday was my only day where I was like, I can't listen to anything. So it made me look other ways. And the other thing too was technically I had 5 hours a week in that drive additional. So like I could finish one episode going to work, but what am I going to listen to after work? What am I going to listen to when I was going back home from work? And that was the thing. So I obviously explored more podcasts. Tim Ferriss being one of them. I don't know if you ever heard Tim Ferriss before. Yeah. Tim, he was on a podcast I was listening to called Creator Support with Colin Samir, shout out. And he talked very extensively how his podcasts run. Like, what's the vetting process? What's the interview process? What's the cutting process? And it is just, wow. Yeah. And these interviews are 2 hours, 2.5 hours, hour and a half. And I'm like, this is so cool. And like, he comes up with some really A-list celebrities. Like he interviewed Bob Iger, who's the CEO of Disney. He's interviewed LeBron James, just these very much so high celebrity profiles. But yeah, just not being able to listen to all my podcasts anymore in a reasonable amount of time.
It gets frustrating.
Yeah. And then my other one, obviously moving to a new area, we have to restart our food journey living in the area.
What do you mean food journey?
So Jenna and I, ever since we started dating, we are certainly a bunch of foodies. At the last place that I lived at, we very rarely did not go to the same restaurant twice in a month. Like it was always a different restaurant. We always tried different restaurants. And, you know, Matt, you're very well aware of this, but I'll keep it general just for the anonymity. Because, you know, these crazy people out here trying to, you know, want our socks or want our underwear or feet pics. I said this past weekend as I was sitting in the new apartment because Jenna visited, I said, you know what? I'm going to miss the salad place. Like getting, Matt knows where this place is. Like getting a nice, wholesome, healthy, and just god awful, amazing salad from this salad place. Like now we have to find another place. We went to a place last weekend. Super cool. It was just amazing food. Like really, it was just great. But like, yeah, just restarting that journey. And then even last weekend when I moved in, having to try new pizza in the area. I will say I did find an okay place. I did DoorDash it. I did find an okay place, but just that restart of the journey, like you don't know what's around you anymore. Like it's not like, oh, like I'll just go to the like we're exploring the grocery stores. We're exploring what grocery store is best for us. We're exploring what an alternative thing is if we can't find this or that. Is there something on the way home as I'm driving to work, or is when Jenna will eventually drive home for work, that is available for us to pick up? There's just a lot of not what ifs, but there's just a lot of factors that we need to play in, considering that we moved into a new place.
I'm trying to use my maps just to see some things. Okay, that's not bad. The good thing is we are obviously closer towards each other.
Yes.
So on the weekends, if you guys ever need like a nice dinner recommendation, I got you.
Oh,
I got you hooked up.
yeah. I
Easy.
saw where you are last weekend. What was the occasion for that one?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. I also have a place in mind that I want to meet you at. That's not too far, I don't think, from you. I think it's actually closer to you than it is to me.
Take me out to dinner first.
Yeah.
Before you take me home.
I've been there before. Very, very good food.
Let me know.
It's a nice, good place to sit at in the summertime too.
Ooh. Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Love it.
I got you.
Love
But that it could be a pain in the ass, but it's also kind of exciting. I like trying new places.
Yeah.
And then when you find a couple places you like, it's kind of like, oh yeah, let's go there. Oh yeah, that pizza was great, or there's great cheesesteaks, whatever.
Yeah. We will say, we meaning Jenna and I, after the experience we had this past weekend going to the dinner place, like, we are not scarce in options, and you know that.
Oh,
Matt.
absolutely not.
It's not certain. It's like, oh, like there's just this diner down the road and that's the only place we have. Like, we got options, and we're very excited to try those options. But just that restart again, like, it's funny when obviously my former students would be like, oh, like, we need to go to a place. I'm like, I got you. Like, I know exactly the places you need to go. Like, now I'm just like, do you have buffalo chicken pizza? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So that's,
I get that. Absolutely. All right. I have 3.
Depressing sack of shit. No.
I will get into the big one. Obviously, I'm a little under the weather. I have the stomach bug. So I was home. I was home from work today. Well, kind of home from work today. Went to work. Didn't feel great when I woke up. So let's go back. Let's go back in time. Okay. So we're recording this on Monday. Let's go back to last Thursday. Okay. Thursday. We ordered Papa John's for dinner. It's great local pizza place, by the way. You might like their pizza. It's a joke.
Papa John's.
Papa John's. Yes.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. So I love Papa John's.
Papa plug.
Correct. For real ones get that reference.
Yeah.
So we get Papa John's not often, but if we go on like a quick pizza, we'll get like Papa John's. And I've got it my whole life. Got it from this place the whole time. I ate it. My stomach just didn't feel great.
Okay. What'd you get?
We just got pizza. I think so we got one just cheese, and then we got half and half. The one half I got sausage, because sausage on pizza is elite. And then she got like a chicken bacon ranch. So I just had like sausage and cheese. Nothing crazy.
I've had a dirty little sausage over there.
So here's the thing. My stomach just felt heavy. Like it didn't feel like sick. It just felt really, really heavy. I was like, all right, maybe I just ate too much. The next day, or maybe it was Saturday, I had leftovers for lunch. And I was like, you know what? That didn't really sit right either. So then, Saturday night, the place Mike alluded to, April and I went to Melting Pot. I've never been there before. She was there a while ago. We kind of just wanted to have a nice evening together. We haven't really gone out anywhere. We kind of wanted to just treat ourselves to a place. I thought it was pretty cool. I think some people, like we were telling people we were going there, like, oh, you have to like cook your own food, and like, yeah, it's
fun.
It's part of the experience. Like it was cool.
Yeah, Jenna took me that for one of my birthday presents. It was cool. We're in Lover's Lane, apparently. So
yeah, I mean, it is pricey, but it's a cool experience. So while we were there, I had some duck.
Oh, duck.
Yes. It tasted I don't know what I think I cooked it correctly. It just tasted a little What?
So before you even say this, it is on no one's fault that you got the stomach bug. It is your fault because you didn't cook it all the way.
No. I did cook it correctly. I haven't had duck in a long time, and I took the first bite. I was like, oh, that's an interesting flavor. It was cooked correctly. Let me just base it off that.
Kidding.
We also had a lot of cheese and chocolate.
Yeah.
So like we went home Saturday. Was that?
You went ham.
Did, yeah. I had the whole experience. So I went home Saturday. I was like, again, I was stuffed. I didn't feel sick. I just felt really, really full because we had a lot of food. And then we get to Sunday. And I went to a minor league baseball stadium, like you know the one.
Yep.
We went there on a double date last year.
Yep. Almost got killed.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we sat almost in the same area too.
Almost got killed.
The food options are interesting at this place.
I will second that.
They're not the best. So I was kind of walking around, I was like, I don't know what to get. Mike, I landed on a hot dog.
Oh, good choice.
No, incorrect. Maybe the worst choice I could have made.
Oh no.
Mike, at the end of the hot dog, there was like, maybe you could see the casing was like, if you're on the YouTube, that, so maybe like a 1/4 inch, it was white. I looked at it, I was like, April, does that look okay to you? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. I ate it, and as I'm eating it, I'm like, man, maybe it's just a different style hot dog. It doesn't taste the best. So I ate the hot dog, and that was really all I had. I mean, I did have obviously a drink, $2 Dippin' Dots, had some Dippin' Dots, and then we're driving home. So we went with my parents and my brother. My dad's driving. We're like 20 minutes from my parents' house, and I'm like, you know what? My stomach just doesn't feel great. April's like, what's up? I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm going to throw up, but like, it doesn't feel great. I don't know. So then 20 minutes later, we get to my parents' house, and
good.
Luckily, April drove her car, my parents' house. We were going to stop at her mom's house. I was like, all right. We get in the car. I was like, grab the water from my parents' house. We go to her mom's house, which is like a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
We get in the car, like, I don't feel good. She's like, well, are you going to throw up? I was like, I don't know. Something feels off.
Yeah.
And we get closer. Just very quiet, not saying much. So we get to her mom's house, and I was like, all right, let's go in right away. So you okay? I was like, honestly, and this is word for word what I said. I'm going to go upstairs to the bathroom. I'm either going to piss, shit, or throw up. I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to come out.
Or all three of them.
Or all three. Good old plum plum. So let's just say the hot dog did not stay down. Felt better. Was able to eat dinner that night. And I woke up today on the recording of this podcast.
Wow.
Woke up, I was like, you know what? My stomach just doesn't feel great.
This is like the omelet challenge.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm not going to eat anything right away. Made a small coffee. Get to work. Just started sipping the coffee. So I had to run somewhere in the morning. And I grabbed the keys. I used the company vehicle. Grabbed the keys. Went to April's office right next door. And she's like, you don't look good. I was like, I'm gonna go pick up what I have to pick up. We'll see what happens when I come back. So also, as I was driving there, I almost had to pull over 3 times because of the rain.
Oh,
torrential downpour.
Yeah,
was awful.
Nuts today.
Terrible. On the way back, I'm like, you know what? I don't feel good. And I didn't feel like I had to throw up again. It just felt like it was like right at the top of my throat. And I get to the stadium, and I'm like, it's going to happen again. So at work, came up, coffee. So I took a sick day today. I went right into my boss's office. I was like, hey, I don't want to be gross, but and he's like, please go home. So I don't know. The hot dog was bad. The hot dog was definitely bad. But I don't know if I've been like fighting the little stomach thing for the past week, and that really just set me over the edge.
You seem okay. Like
I feel okay now. But also, when I came home from work on the drive today to the apartment after I officially took the sick day, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like it's gonna happen. I think I just need to get it out. So I came home. I just got it out. Yeah. Just got it out. I was like, all right, I feel a little better. I have since I got it all out, nothing else has come back up. I did eat some soup for lunch.
Good.
And I'm drinking some warm Sprite. But it's been an interesting week. But that was the worst hot dog ever.
Wow. Yeah, stomach bugs kick your ass. Like,
yes, they do.
I had it back in January, I think, as I've mentioned it before, and it kicked my ass. I think I slept for a majority of the day. I giddied up and decided to stream, but Matt streamed his POV, and I was just calmly playing and as quiet and as not accentuated as I usually am. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, and it sucks too because it's like literally it's that one thing. It's either that one thing or that one thing that comes through in the air, and yeah, ingest it, inhale it, whatever it may be, and then you are just a mess.
Yeah. And it's funny, as we were getting ready for work this morning, April's like, you don't look good, like just take a sick day. I was like, no, like I don't feel like sick. I think I just feel a little not myself. Little did I know.
Yeah, jeez.
But I also came home and I was after I got all out, I was like, all right, maybe I just need to like sleep it off, and I just couldn't sleep. Which also sucked. Yeah, stomach bugs are the worst. However, I still have 2 more. Don't you worry.
Oh my God.
Amazon products are impossible to build, like furniture-wise. We ordered outside patio table and chairs. The chairs came assembled. They fold up great. Table is a pain in the ass. The tools they give you, you just can't use. And again, it's not hard to put words in the instructions. It's just pictures, and it's ridiculous.
Matt, this sounds like a recurring problem that you've had. I don't think it is the product. I think it is human error.
No, it's Amazon. And finally, Mike, I have an epidemic that's been happening to me for the last 12 days, and no, it's not vomiting.
The epidemic?
Yes, it is a problem.
An epidemic?
I'm being targeted. And I don't know how I can avoid it. It just keeps happening to me. The past 12 days in a row, a squirrel has ran right in front of my car as I'm driving. Now luckily, I'm 12 for 12. I have not hit the squirrel. I did hit a squirrel a long time ago. I think I brought that up on the podcast.
Yep. Dumb squirrel.
Yes. I have not hit a squirrel yet, but I swear, like, I've missed all 12 squirrels by, like, has to be less than a foot. They just keep diving right in front of me. Also, a bird flew into my hood as I was driving, like the top of my hood. I was driving. No, this was like 2 days ago. A bird, it just flew right top of my hood. I'm like, what are you doing? So I don't know if this is like a test that I'm going through, like the driving gods are giving me a test. But I would appreciate if I didn't have the anxiety of running over the squirrel every time I got into my car.
Well, unfortunately, squirrels are you can't swerve, because if you swerve, you get into an accident. Mm-hmm. So you might as well just run over the little shit. His wrong choice of getting out in front. So
also just weird shit with animals. I was driving to work the other day, Saturday morning. There's a baby fawn in the middle of the road that can't stand up. I think it got hit in the leg. Yeah. And it's just like having a freak attack in the middle of the road that like the cars on the other side are just flying right past it. And I like stopped. I'm like,
you were going to pick up the fawn?
No, but like as cars were, I didn't want 2 cars driving on the same side. So I waited till the other cars passed, and then I slowly went around it, but it was just very heartbreaking. It couldn't stand up. It was freaking out.
I think fawns have trouble, and don't quote me on this because I'm no animal expert, but I think fawns have trouble using their legs when they are born. Like they struggle to walk. Mm-hmm. And I think it was spooked on top of not being able to use its legs, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah. So
I see a lot more deer on my commute too, by the way. So
I'm sure
a
you
little
do.
bit more active in paying attention.
Definitely got to be careful at night where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all I got.
Yeah. Wow, what a fun-filled episode of the Funny Business Podcast.
Nothing better than talking about the stomach bug.
Yeah, and 2 billion zillionaires going at it in the UFC match. So, but that concludes another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. I have a very special announcement to make on this episode. Today, and then in the future, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it is free.
Yeah. Correct.
And you can find all that information at solo.to/funnybusiness. Go ahead and get your free subscription today on our YouTube page. Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
What is your advice for the good people of the funny business world?
Take care of your body. I'm just going to go with that. Listen to your body. If you're feeling off, maybe don't eat. Like if your stomach's feeling off, don't eat a lot of heavy stuff. If you have a headache, don't be afraid to take some Tylenol, Advil, Motrin, whatever you prefer. Listen to your body, because most of the time it'll tell you how to help yourself. Help us, help you.
Beautiful. You only got one. Take care of it.
Correct.
And that concludes another episode. And until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.